So if I'm gonna have one video that like pisses a lot of people off really fast, it can be this, and that's fine. Addiction is a choice. It really is, and I can tell you why I can say that. A little over 5 years ago, I was in a car accident. Not a horrible one, but pretty damn bad. And it left me with a permanent spinal cord injury. A pretty bad one. And I've struggled with pain ever since. And I've had 13 minor procedures. I've done the injections, and they had me on opioids for over 3 years. And I was on methadone for pain management at one point. And ultimately I ended up on 30 milligram instant release morphine 4 times a day and 30 milligrams extended release morphine morning and night. So I was on the highest levels of both. That's the highest available pill form of both. And I was addicted to it. My body was completely dependent on it, and I was hooked on it. And, it cost me my job. At one point, it cost me my relationship. I had no will to, play with or do anything with my own children. It was horrible. But eventually I realized how bad it was and that I was addicted and that it was fucking terrible. And I decided to stop. And I went through the worst withdrawal that I could possibly imagine. I spent 7 months going through withdrawal. And a year and a half later, I was still having some of those withdrawal symptoms occasionally. It was pretty bad. And you know what? It was my fucking choice to do it. It was my choice to stop, and I haven't touched it since. Addiction's a fucking choice. If you're addicted, you don't have a fucking disease. All right, you didn't walk outside and somebody sneeze on you and you become a crackhead. That doesn't fucking happen. You choose to do it. You made your body dependent on it, and you're afraid to go through withdrawal, and you're afraid to function without it. That's what it is. It's a fucking decision to keep using it. Period. That's all it is. A fucking decision to keep using it. If you go off of it, yeah, the withdrawal symptoms are horrible. Your body craves it. It makes you want to do it. But that's your decision whether you suffer through it or you take one and, or a bunch, or smoke crack or meth or whatever the fuck you do, and keep using it. That's your fucking decision. And if you keep making that decision, you're fucking weak. That's not to say it isn't fucking hard. It is hard. It's hell. It's terrible. It's absolute hell to go through. It's a fucking nightmare. But it's a decision. It's a choice. And I went through months and months of withdrawal, and I got off of it, and I fucking, at times I still crave. At times I still have a feeling where I want to fucking, be on narcotics. And I still struggle with pain. Horrible fucking pain. Day and night. I have trouble sleeping because of it. I can't lie still at night because of it. I can't stand for too long. I can't sit for too fucking long. It's terrible. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go back and call it a disease and use that, that word as a crutch. That's what it is. When you're standing around saying, addiction is a disease, you're fucking leaning on that word as if you have no choice. I'm sorry, cancer is a disease. You have no fucking choice when you have cancer. You have none. You have it, and you're stuck with it, and you have to deal with it and try to treat it and, whatever you're going to do about it. But addiction is not a disease. It's a fucking decision, because at any point, you can turn around and say, I don't do this anymore, and stop taking it. And guess what? You're not an addict anymore. And guess what? As soon as you're done going through withdrawal, that's it. That's it. You're not an addict. You're just not. I can understand going to groups. I can understand needing support to be strong enough to do it. I'm not saying that it isn't fucking hard. I'm saying that there is no involuntary reflex to put a fucking pill in your mouth or a needle in your arm. There's none. Either you consciously, physically do it by yourself, or it doesn't happen, which means it ain't a fucking disease. Nobody turns around and chooses to have cancer. You choose whether to put the needle in your arm or swallow that pill. Fucking period.